Good afternoon. Hope everyone's doing well, staying safe, having a safe, fun, and productive week. Back at it again with another live stream. Making beats start to finish in Logic Pro. Gonna get started pretty soon. Should be all set up, ready to go. Yeah, hope everyone's been doing well. Had a pretty, a really busy week myself. Had a lot of different things going on at the same time, but I love it. I love staying busy. I love being able to work on music and just working on different projects and with different people, different artists and producers, and yeah, I've been having a really good week. So hope everyone's doing the same. Knocked out a video a little while ago too, actually. So basically right now, like, I have a series going on where it started off with me talking about something that I believe every producer should be doing in 2022, which is collaborating with other producers. So basically I'm doing like a little mini series talking about different reasons why producers should collaborate with other producers, different ways that, or like some of the ethics and good practices to have when collaborating with other producers. So that's actually the video that I'll be uploading today. Basically the video is about like how to collaborate with other producers, or rather how to ask another producer to collaborate. Just talking about different things like etiquette, or proper etiquette when you're messaging someone that you either don't, like a producer that you don't know or don't already work with, and then just good practices for like how to send files over, different things like that. So it's gonna be super cool, super dope. Really hope that people watch it and learn from it, because I think that there's a lot of good information in that video actually, because especially like even for someone like me who's like, I'm not like huge in like industry producer or nothing like that, but I get producers reaching out to me for collabs at least a couple times, maybe a couple times a week or so. And sometimes people ask respectfully, some people ask in a way that's like, it's not really professional, and it doesn't make me want to collab. So if someone like me who's like not super popping like that can get a lot of inquiries like that, and very sure that people who are even more experienced or have even more people hitting them up also gonna be experiencing something similar. So that's my heart behind the series and the video, and yeah, it'll be live at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So definitely hope that people tune into that, watch it, and also just learn some good useful information from it. And as always, like, let me know too if there are any like suggestions for videos, any video suggestions, topics that you want me to cover, anything like that. I'm always open to suggestions and feedback, because at the end of the day, I want to make sure that the content that I make is serving the people who's watching. Cool. So we're gonna go officially get started with today's stream. You just had me tuning in for the first time. If you're not already familiar with who I am, my name is El Marquis. I'm a musician, rapper, record producer, unashamed fast follower. What we do over here on the live stream is primarily we cook up beats start to finish. I break down my process as I'm making the beat, let you know what I'm thinking, or why I make the certain decisions that I make. And then from there, even more importantly, I like to open up the chat for people to talk, ask questions about not just like what we're doing over here, but in terms of making the beat itself, but just any questions that involve music production in general, whether it's tips on selling beats, whether it's tips on actually making dope beats, what else, equipment, mixing techniques, different things like that. And yeah, the purpose of this is really have a fun time and spread good positive energy with each other. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm just letting the Discord know. Letting my Discord server know that we're live, and then we'll officially get started. We're okay. Lit. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna close out of the things that I don't need open right now, and switch over to Logic Pro. Close all that. Cool. So in the building sounds good on YouTube. Perfect. So I was browsing around for just different loops a little while ago, and I found something really cool on Splice. It's something pretty simple, but it caught my ear, and I just want to mess around with it and see what we can come up with. I guess super simple, but like, oop, hold up. There we go. Oh wait, let me re-import that. I think I did something wrong with that. Hold up. Oh, okay, I see what went wrong. But let's re-import that back into Logic. Okay, delete that. Do I still have it pulled up? I do. Okay, cool. Oop, just clicked out of it. Okay, go back. Here's where we're at. I was okay. Was it this one? Yeah, it was. Okay, let's drag this back into Logic. Or not. Okay. I saved it under one of these. There we go. This is 160 BPM. Why is it doing that? Okay, let's make a whole new file altogether, actually. Okay, don't save that. Yeah, stuff like that happens. No big deal. Cool. Okay, let's just start over. I still want to use that loop. I think it just has to do with, I don't know, something in Logic did that. Cool, okay. Wait for that to load back up. And then I'll just drag that back in. What I'm thinking with, like, to me, like, by default, it's cool. It's like a reverse melody, like reverse melody type of thing. Feels like right now, as it is, without even affecting it, it sounds like something that something like Playboy Cardi or like Lil Uzi would use. But I'm gonna go ahead and actually start manipulating it, see what we can come up with. That's weird. I don't know why it's doing that. So okay, let's try. Okay, let's try doing this. There we go. I don't know why I wasn't doing that before, but no big deal. Cool. So basically what I'm doing all that for is so I can change the tempo of this loop. Change the tempo, change the key signature, all that. The pitch, rather. Okay, so let's go ahead. So here's how it is. Straight from Splice. I want to slow it down some. Completely different vibe. Like before it sounded like a beat, and now it's like on like the slower, like sadder type of vibe. I might speed it up a little bit more, but I want to mess with this first. Let's have another part where it goes down an octave. Let's try that. Actually, instead of doing that, I changed my mind. I want to do, instead of that going down an octave, I might do that. I want to hear what it would sound like if I half timed it. Okay, let's go over here. Bypass it up. Use automation. Put it on this part. That's cool. That could be like a B section or just a different section of the song overall. That's already sounding really cool to me. Let's add a couple of effects on it. mix that in a little bit more, or a little bit less rather. Just adding like a couple little glitchy effects to it. Might not need this one. Okay, cool. That's cool for right now. Might play with some more later. Okay, let's go on adding drums. I might add some more effects to it. Maybe just for like certain sections of the beat. Okay, first things first, let's go ahead and find a clap. Got the clap. I think I want to use this hi-hat too. Okay. Maybe my speed is up a little bit more. Actually, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna mess with this tempo at first. I'm trying to use a tempo that I don't normally make beats in. Like my go-to tempo, as of recent, is like 134 and like 164. I'm trying to make something like a little outside of that outside of that range, but I might end up speeding it back up. Let's hear how this sounds first. Ah. Yeah, it does. Okay, it does. With the hi-hat, it doesn't feel a bit slow. Let's try. Okay, that feels a little bit better. Sounds good on Twitch. Perfect. Are you going for a more mellow feel? Yeah. So this one, like, it started out pretty fast, but now I'm trying to experiment with it a bit and just make it sound a bit more chill, a bit more mellow. Moni says, "Hey, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you for tuning in." Okay, just messing around with this hi-hat. She's doing great. Hope you are too. Oh, I'm doing excellent. Thank you so much for asking. How's your week been going? Like, what type of just what different things have you been working on for this week? Oh, this is gonna rock. It's gonna be like slower, like relatively like a slow tempo, but like it's gonna be bouncy. Don't forget to hit the like button. Yeah, if anyone's watching this right now on YouTube, we greatly appreciate it. If you're watching and if you're enjoying the stream so far, definitely would appreciate it if you clicked out the chat for a quick second, hit the like button. What that does, it just tells YouTube's algorithm that you like the content and that it should push out this live stream to more people who may be interested in it. So definitely would appreciate it if anyone's watching this, hit the like button real quick. So I've been working on finishing up some beats so I can finally release them. Hey, that's what's up. Let me know how they turn out, and once they're out, let me know too so I can check them out and show support. Okay, almost done with the hi-hats. There we go. I'm gonna try something really quick. Hold up. Let's try bouncing the part that like goes halftime. Let's try bouncing that in place. So let's get rid of this automation. Cause like with this plugin specifically, whenever I use it for some reason, there's always like a clicking sound whenever whenever I use it. Okay, cool. Oh, I think I didn't. Nope, didn't do that right. So appreciate it. I'll post a link to my YouTube page. Just created soon. Appreciate the support. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely let me know. Love being able to show support to different producers whenever I can, and artists as well. Okay, let's hear what this sounds like. Oh wait, wait. I gotta redo that one more time. I forgot. I have one more effect on it. Okay, turn this off. Turn that on. That's it in place. Okay, let's hear what this sounds like. Yeah, there's like a little gap right there. So let's see if we can close that up. There we go. There we go. There we go. that like one of these will so one will be like an A section and a B section. Okay, so now it does sound a little off. Okay, hold up. Let's drag that back out. I don't get it. That it might not work. I don't know. YNG Melodies at Fire Loop. Thank you. Appreciate that. Shout out to Splice. Alright, I'll come back to that. What do you think so far? Like, what artists would you hear on this? Oh, you know what? I clicked that by accident, but I wonder if there's like a vocal in the arcade that we could use. That would sound cool. What do you think? Try adding vocal. I wonder what that would sound like, but I know what else would sound pretty good, cool too. I can hear Trippy. Yeah. Oh yeah. You know what? Yeah, Trippy would sound cool on this. Now you mention it, I was thinking like something like Juice WRLD, Playboy Cardi, Uzi. Oh, I don't even know what key we're in. I'm trying to mess with this. Hold up. Like a rage beat. Yeah, I can hear that. B flat major. Or E flat major. Well, it'll be one of those. Okay. Okay, let's take the B flat major. Change that in here. Oh.
Tell you what you wanna hear, tell you what you wanna hear, tell you what you would.
Ooh, let's try that. Ooh, wait, that sounds kind of. Oh, we're gonna use that. Is there another one that we can use here? Ooh. Okay, yes. Then we're gonna manipulate that. This is just oh, snow would sound cool on this too, actually. Didn't even think about that. Oh, this is gonna be right in Snow's bag. Okay, let's balance this in place so I can mess with it as an audio file. Yeah, Snow Allegro sounds really good on something like this. Okay, G minor. B flat major, G minor, exact same thing. Okay, first, yeah, that sounds cool. What we're gonna do is make that, I want that to be more of like a background texture type of thing. Yeah, I'm just like gonna detune the vocal. Yes, that's, ooh, definitely. Okay, that's cool. We're also gonna, so make it feel more in the background, because the thing about adding vocals inside your instrument, inside of your instrumentals is cool, but you don't want to like make it clash with the vocalist. So what I like to do is like just take out a lot of the high end, so that way it doesn't clash too much with like the actual vocalist when they're rapping or singing on it. There we go. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, I really want to use that. Okay, look, I have to re-enter my serial number in that. Okay, not gonna do that now. So let's use a different reverb. Fire emojis, thank you, appreciate that. Okay, he's gonna put just a lot of reverb on it. I'm sure what that sounds like. Yeah, cool. I want to add like an echo too, but actually, yeah, I'll add some echo on it really quick. I wasn't trying to play around with it too much, but let's go ahead and add some echo to it. We're gonna get some from like Guitar Rig. Oh, that sounds beautiful. Hold up. Maybe turn that pitch down a bit more. There we go. So that is lit. Yeah, yeah. It's all those little effects, like they really do make a big difference. Let's see if we can add like maybe like one or two more like other like melodies on top of it. Oh, I can't decide if I want to use Omnisphere or if I want to use Serum. Definitely not gonna use that. Yeah, pretty much like there's like that melody's kind of like already in the loop. I kind of just want to layer that part with this sound. Let's change it up on this part. There we go. Let's definitely gotta save this. I gotta save this. I like this beat a lot. What do we want to call this? We're gonna call this. I don't know. What should we call this beat? What type of vibe would this be? I need a name. Quick. Someone drop a name. Quick. What are we gonna call this? I don't know why I'm. What name we want to call this? We're gonna call this. I feel like I might have a beat called this, but let's try it anyways. Text me back. Cool. Okay, we put this a little back up. Nate said, I'm terrible at naming beats. Honestly, I'm the same way, because like I don't want to name something like stupid, because most of these beats, like, they're not just staying on my hard drive. Like, if someone, I feel like naming the beat a certain title is not like the most important thing in the world, but like if it's like a dumb name, like I feel like people might click off of it. Dagger. Dagger sounds pretty aggressive for a beat like this. I would use Dagger for something a bit more aggressive. I guess it could be like Dagger, like if someone's like breaking your heart and it feels like they're sticking a dagger into you. I don't know. That could be something. Shout out OG Cisco for this suggesting Dagger as the title. That could actually work. Like if this were like a Trippy Red, you know what? I feel like a Trippy Red for using something like this, he might use. I don't know. He might use something like that, a name like that. Cool Breeze is a good one too. Okay, might add some more melodies and some more perks, but let's go ahead and add an 808. I'll try this one first. Easy writing, that could be a cool one too. Might come back and change the name of this later. don't know. Ooh, Vision's a really good run. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go with Visions. Wait, let me rename this real quick. Vision's a really good one. Because it sounds like trippy. It's kind of sound... You know what? Yeah, because it sounds trippy. It sounds like... It could be like going back in like a dream or something like that. Yeah, let's go with Visions. Shout out OG Cisco for the name suggestion. That's what's up. That's a really good name, Visions. Okay, wait for that to load back up. Okay. I'm not getting stumped on this 808 pattern, but I want to figure something out. Come on. I might have to change the key of this, maybe up a little bit. I mean, like, I fell in love with this key, but it might be a little... It might be too low. Why is there so much latency? Okay, let's put this pattern down. I'm gonna change the notes afterwards. Wait. Okay, definitely messed it up, but let's go ahead and adjust it because it's MIDI. Okay. Drag these down. Something too for people who don't know, if you have a trick like where if you're like working with headphones and you're trying to find a good 808 or a bass pattern, and if you can't really hear the notes super well, especially if you're in like wearing headphones or if you like use speakers without like a sub, if you boost the 808 up or if you tune the 808 up an octave, then it's a lot easier to hear like the tone of the 808. OG says, do you ever use metronome on bass? Like for like putting it down, yeah, for most of the time when I record a pattern, actually I do. If I'm not using a metronome, I'm like tracking with the drums. But yeah, like if I'm like playing like a melody or a chord progression, I will in like if there aren't already drums in the beat, yeah, I will use a metronome. For right now, like I can hear the rhythm of it, especially because I'm playing, or I soloed it out with the clap. But yeah, like a lot of times I do use a metronome whenever I'm tracking something. Especially with like live instruments, I'm pretty much always use a metronome when I'm recording those. There we go. Actually, you know what? I think I might put like that hit back in there. Oh wait, okay. One of these notes needs to be different. Maybe it doesn't. Let me drag it back up for right now. Oh, you meant like with the sub bass? Yeah, like if it's like, if I'm tracking, I mean with any instrument, not even just specifically bass. Like if I'm tracking, like for example, I also play guitar and I record guitar fairly often. If I'm starting off a beat with the guitar, I pretty much always like start off with the metronome. For bass, it's not like it's. For bass, I don't always, not because of necessarily it specifically being a bass instrument. Sometimes like, I don't, because a lot of the times I happen to put down drums before I put down the bass. So then I might just be listening to the drums as I'm putting down the bass or the sub bass or anything like that. But yeah, I do recommend people. A lot of people try using a metronome, especially if they happen to be recording like live instruments, like live guitar, live bass, anything like that. Or if you're like actually like playing in your melodies, definitely recommend using metronome for that. Okay, I think that actually sounds good. Oh, it's just that one note. Oh, you know what? Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's like 100 times better. Oh, okay, never mind. Except for that very last note. I don't know why I decided to put that up an octave. Okay, so let's. Okay, so let's just drag those out. Okay, that should sound a lot better. Let me know what you think about the beat. Let me know if you have any suggestions or anything else you want me to add to it. I have a couple more ideas actually. Let's pull up something from Massive. Yeah, Massive will always be one of my favorite VST synths. Like, even though like they're definitely more modern sounding synths, like this was one of the first ones. I think it actually might be the first third party synth I ever got. Like something that wasn't stock in Logic. Like they're definitely more like, especially they're better sounding synths for hip hop specifically, but I like using Massive a lot. Well, not better sounding synths, but like more, I guess synths that have more like hip hop sounds in mind. This is what I'm looking for. Ooh, okay, hold up. What do you think about mastering sub bass in a car? That bass is hard to help. Wait, what do you think about mastering sub bass in a car? That bass is hard. That bass is hard to help with deep bass for a song. It's old school method, I know. That's actually pretty cool. I personally haven't tried doing that, but that's not. I don't think it's a bad idea. Like for me personally, what I do is I do have a subwoofer. A subwoofer is able to replicate like those like low end sounds. Or like that low deep bass sound. I think it's actually like if you work or if you live in a place where they don't where like the people who are living with you or like your neighbors don't really mind loud bass at certain times of the day, that's actually a really good investment. Mr. Cruz said, hey, what do you want to tell Joe Biden? What's up, Mr. Cruz? I was saying, so I use a subwoofer in my spot. That's how I can hear the deep bass sound and able to mix it properly. These headphones I happen to wear as well. They're not like super bass heavy the same way like car speakers are, but these can pick up low end pretty well. But like mastering it in the car, I don't think this is a bad idea actually. Because like I don't mix in the car, but I do check my mixes in a car. You know what I mean? Like. Not as much for beats, because honestly with beats, most of the time I get them, I feel like I get the mix of the beats good enough to send out different artists and to upload to my website and things like that. But when I'm mixing and mastering songs for other people, I pretty much, a lot of the time I do check the mixes inside of the car, so that way I can I know how my car speakers sound. I know, especially I really check it just for bass, like you were mentioning. Hear how hard the kick is hitting, how hard the 808's hitting. Yeah, so not a bad idea at all. So just check DBs, yeah. And that's a really important practice to have. Another thing I have too, actually, I can show you real quick. I have my favorite pair of listening headphones right here, the Sony Extra Bass headphones. I love these headphones. These are my favorite wireless headphones that I've ever. Well, I haven't had like a whole lot of wireless headphones. But like these headphones right here, they're wireless. They're made from Sony. These are literally like a subwoofer for headphones. Like the bass in these headphones is insane. If you ever wanted like a really cool pair of wireless headphones, and if you love a whole lot of bass, like especially if you listen to and make hip hop, R&B, EDM music, even rock music sounds cool in these. But like these, if you're looking for a pair of like really cool wireless headphones that are really bass heavy, these are some of my favorite ones. The Sony, the exact model name is stupid. It's like MDR. Okay, it's a lot of letters. But if you look up Sony Extra Bass on YouTube or Google or Amazon, these should pop up. These are amazing. It's like if you happen to either like not have a car, if you want to like check deep bass without having to drive all the way out to your car, or not drive all the way to your car, walk all the way out to your car. These are really good for that too. Put these back. Monet said, "Do you have a short tutorial for mixing?" Yeah, so I can drop it in the chat real quick. So I do have. I think it was one. I must have made it like a year or two ago. It's like. What is it? I think it's like a beginner tutorial. I don't remember exactly what I taught in it, to be completely honest. But I can drop that. Let me find that. I'm pulling it up on my phone really quick. I do have a tutorial on mixing. It's not super in depth. It's more of like a beginner tutorial is the one I'm thinking about. Okay. Oh, actually, you know what? Okay, I have a couple actually. Okay, so I have one that's like a beginner mixing tutorial. One that's a quick tip on how to make your beats louder, and then 5 essential mixing plugins. Let me just pull those up real quick, and drop it in the chat. They're about a year or so old, and they're not like super in depth. They're more like beginner style tutorials. But I do think that they're pretty helpful. So I'm just gonna drop these in the chat really quick. These are like the more so I guess like essential mixing techniques, like, you know, ones that were like, it's nothing super crazy. It's not like hidden techniques or anything like that. It's a really good starter for how to get your mixes sounding really good. Let me just drop. I think I just dropped. There we go. Cool. So that's fine. I appreciate it. No problem. OG said great info on headphones, good plug. Sony bass headphones, wireless type. Yeah. Let me type in the chat. It's like, let me pull up because the ones I use, they have like a really weird name on them. I'll type this in so because I love these headphones. I've gone through like 3 of these by now. Because like the one thing I don't like about them honestly is the build quality. Like you see this part over here is like it's made of plastic, and they've lasted a long time. But I've gone through like this is like my 3rd pair of these right now because like after a couple of years of just wearing it, the plastic just wears off. That's the only thing I really don't like about it. One time I think I might have, did I hit it? No, actually no, I didn't even hit it. I was just normal wear and tear. I had them for like another, I think I've had them for like 2 or 3 years at a time, and then like this part just wore out, so I had to replace them a handful of times. But I love these headphones so much that I literally just bought them again. So let me type in the model name for you really quick if you want to check these out for yourself. If you live near a Best Buy, you may be able to find them too. Actually, these are like they have newer models out now, so I don't know if this exact model will be in like a Best Buy or anything like that. But if you go on eBay, or OfferUp or different places like that, you can buy them used for. I think used maybe like for like I think I got these for like $50 used. I know new they were like, I think they're like $100 or something like that new. Okay, cool. Let me just type in the chat really quick. Okay, got that. There you go. Yeah, so if you want to check out these headphones in particular, that's the name right there. Love these headphones. Super great for checking low end if either you don't have if you like don't have car speakers, or you want to like check bass without having to go out into your car or anything like that. I love those headphones. Ooh, okay, one more thing I want to add to that melody. There we go. Trish Graff, how you doing? He said, here I am. That's what's up. Appreciate you tuning in. OG says, gracias, I'm a newbie music producer out West Texas, repping Odessa, Texas. Hey, that's what's up. Shout out to Odessa, Texas. That's what's up. That's what's up. If you have, yeah, feel free to ask any questions at all, because that's like I love doing these live streams to be able to answer questions like that. So if you have any more, definitely keep them coming. Say, man, where were you 3 years ago? I've been doing this. I think this might be like my, how many years have I been doing YouTube now? I think it's actually my 3rd year of being consistent with doing YouTube. I've been on YouTube since like 2009, but I didn't like start consistently uploading until about 3 years ago, actually, oddly enough. Okay, I'm gonna try one thing really quick. So I tried doing like a halftime thing on loop, but just it was being stubborn earlier. So let me try. Okay, let's try this really quick. Cause there was like a little gap in it before. You said just stumbled upon you, amigo. You dove home. Thank you, appreciate that. Yeah, if you haven't already, definitely subscribe to the channel. I've got tons of tips for intermediate tips, beginner tips, all that for producers. So got a lot of content on the way, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Now it's finally sounding the way I wanted to. There we go. There we go. So that's gonna be, I don't know what section of the beat that's gonna be, but that's gonna be something cool. Radha said, "Do you have knowledge of phasing?" Honestly, not super well. I do understand phasing to a degree. Honestly, I don't know it well enough to not understand. I don't understand it well enough to explain it. Nor do honestly do I really check for it in my style of music. To be honest, I probably should. That should be something that I should be more knowledgeable on. Yeah, so I can't really explain phasing super well. But there are some really cool tutorials on YouTube that will explain it. So I guess that's some homework I need to do actually for myself. Trish said, I got something to do. Don't we all? Oh, he's a piece. All right, cool. Trish, thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate you. Let's turn down that synth I just added. Okay, so don't want to add any more to the drums. So thanks a lot. Ain't no problem. Okay, I might come back to this later and add some more like percussion sounds to the drums. Actually, you know what? Let's listen to this a couple times. So I'm thinking about it now. Let's see if I find like at least like a really basic shaker to add. Something. Okay, cool. I'm gonna turn this down a bit. Turn down a bit more. Shivadha said, do you mix your songs, beats plus vocals yourself? Yes I do. So I also make my own music where I'm rapping here and there, but also I mostly produce and mix for other artists. I actually have artists who come through and record over here. So yeah, actually, not only do I record them, but I do mix their vocals as well. And yeah, a lot of people actually do like the sounds of my mixes. If you need any tips on like mixing vocals or mixing beats in general, I don't consider myself an expert, but I do consider myself really knowledgeable. And I do have a lot of people who come through and ask me to mix their music. So yeah, if you have any questions on that, I'd be more than happy to answer those. OG says, what type of diffusers do you recommend for deep bass in small studio room, foam or acoustic panels? So I wouldn't recommend foam, actually. So acoustic foam that you may see on people's walls, like the small little pieces of foam, like the square things or whatever, they're not the worst thing in the world, but to me they're not ideal, because one, those small little individual pieces of foam, you need a lot of them to really make them work, and even then, like, it's just for how much they cost, is not really as effective as something like acoustic panels, for example. So like, and also another thing about those too is that depending on like how you mount the acoustic foam, if you decide to move out of the space that you're in, whether it's like you're moving out of your house or your apartment or anything like that, if you like mount them a certain way, like if you like glue them to your walls, that it messes up your walls. So that's like more time that you got to actually spend to like, once you leave that place, you got to like redo your walls and stuff like that. So to me, not really worth it. So what I recommend is either getting acoustic panels or getting, what I actually use is these acoustic blankets. Like if you see over there in the back of the room, there's that right there. That's an acoustic blanket. I actually have another one. Well, I got one in the back of the room, one that's right in front of, or one behind my monitor, the way that I'm looking right now, and I have like one that's like right above me. Basically, what those do is like, they're similar. They look really similar to moving blankets, and those can actually work too. If you like have moving blankets and if you're on like a really tight budget. Basically what those do is like they absorb a lot of the room noise, so that way when I'm recording vocals, even when I'm like just clapping or if I'm like listening to music, there's not a whole like listening to music through the speakers, there's not really a whole lot of it reduces a lot of the room noise. So especially for it works for hearing bass too, but especially for if you're like recording vocals, having acoustic treatment, well, recording vocals and for mixing, I think is essential to have some form of acoustic treatment. For bass specifically, the one piece of foam that I do have, if you see that over there in the top corner, I think you can see it in the shot. You see like those pieces of foam in the corner. Those are the only ones I would recommend. Those are called bass traps. You can get those, are really not super expensive either. You can get, I think I got 4 of those for, I think I got them for like $80 on Amazon, like 60 to $80. Definitely worth the investment. Monet said, moving blankets work well. I use those. Actually made a DIY mic booth for myself. It's actually, yeah. I got the acoustic blankets specifically because they're made for, I mean, moving blankets do work. Like, I would definitely recommend those as well if you happen to have those. I got these because, one, I like how they look. I like the black color of them, but also these are made specifically for absorbing sound. Like, moving blankets definitely will do that too. But these blankets, they have material inside of them where it does absorb the sound. I think it reduces a little bit of the sound, like bouncing off of them too. Like, if you're trying to block out some noise from your neighbors and people like that. Radha said, what are the right volume levels for drums, instruments and vocals when you're mixing and mastering live? I've subscribed to your channel. First of all, thank you so much for subscribing. So the right volume level, when I mix, I don't necessarily look for a specific number when I'm leveling out my instruments. The only numbers I really pay attention to are, let me pull it up real quick so I can visualize this for you. So the only numbers that I really pay attention to when I'm mixing, if I'm looking for a specific number, this number right down here where it says stereo out. Let me play the beat real quick. So you see where my mouse is right now, stereo out. I pay attention to that number so I know whether or not the beat's the song is clipping or not. So right now it is. When I'm making a beat, I don't really care if it's clipping that much. So for this the peak, it's called the peak level over here. So I'll pay attention to that number when I'm mixing and mastering specifically. What that does is it tells you whether or not the song, it tells you whether or not your song is clipping or not, or above 0. But clipping means like it's distorting in an unpleasant way. So, but not in an unpleasant way. It just means that it's distorting. So when I'm mixing, I'm making sure that, like right now, I don't really care that it's above 0. But when you're mixing and mastering, or when you're mixing something specifically, you want this to be below 0. A good ballpark would be between -3 and -6 dB. And then for everything else, when I mix, like if you see a peak level on the individual channels themselves, for me, those, I don't really care about the specific number. I really just pay attention to, is it above 0 or not? And if it is above 0, like, does the clipping on it sound good? Does it not? Can you actually hear it? And it's really easy to make sure that they're all below 0 in the first place. So those are really, that, and also I measure LUFS for loudness. So if you see this over here, like LUFS and RMS. So if you see like those numbers right there, that basically, without getting like overly scientific, those numbers pretty much just tell you how loud your song or your beat is. So I'll pay attention to those when I'm mastering. So then when I'm mastering, I want the peak to be, I use -1. Like when I'm using a limiter, I want the peak to be -1, and then LUFS, depending on the song, between like -12 to like -9 is what I normally aim for. Other than that, like I don't aim for specific numbers when I'm mixing the actual, when I'm mixing the tracks individually. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. So like basically, there's no specific level that like your drums or your bass should be at. What I just do is I'll go through, I'll listen to. Okay, I'll show you exactly what I do actually. So you don't need this plugin specifically to do this, but when I'm mixing and mastering something, Ozone or Isotope Ozone, it has a cool feature inside of it where you can pull up a reference track inside of it. Just do that. I got a bunch of different reference tracks that I use. Reference tracks are basically, they're songs that I like the mix of. So like for example, let's pull up Drake TSU. Like I like the mix on that song, so then I'll pull it up. I'm not gonna play it now because I don't want to get a copyright strike, but or you can like flip back and forth between your reference song, and then just pay really close attention to where they leveled out their instruments, and then just try to like, if you like that song, that sound specifically, you can go ahead and try to match it up, match your levels up to that, to your reference track as close as possible. If you don't have Ozone, another easy way to do that actually is just pulling up an audio file and dragging it inside of Logic. So actually, let me show you that real quick too. Type in TSU, hopefully that pops up. So if you like, let's say for example, you like how the mix on TSU by Drake sounds, you can just drag that mix, or drag the song rather, inside of Logic or whatever DAW you use. And then while you're actually playing the beat, you would mute it. But then if you want to check the levels for it, hit solo on that track, and just go back and forth, and then just level out your beat to around the same volume that you hear in the reference track. It doesn't have to be exact. There's no exact number that it needs to be at. It just really, all that really matters is, does it sound good to you? Let's see what else we got. I think we got one more. OG said, "Is there a cell app to use for bass reflections that you know of?" I haven't heard of one, like an app to measure them. I haven't heard of one. However, actually no. Okay, there's one thing. Not necessarily an app to measure bass reflection specifically. If you go to, what's the company's name? There's I can't remember I think it's GIY Acoustics. So if you're looking to get, I didn't use the service because I knew what things I needed to get for my spot in particular. But if you're looking to acoustically treat your space, your studio or your whatever room that you make music in, I'll drop them in the chat real quick. So I'm pretty sure it's GIY. Wait, actually, let me Google this really quick to make sure that it's the right company. But basically, what this company does is, okay, I can't do two things once. GIY. Let me make sure this is the right company. GIY Acoustics. I can't type. Oh my gosh, I can't type. Anyway, so okay, so basically, what this website does is it has a section on there where you can enter in the dimensions of your room, and then someone on there from their company can basically tell you or recommend what acoustic treatment that you can buy to improve the sound of your room. Let me make sure this is right. Okay, maybe it wasn't GIY. What's the name of his website? I gotta find it. Hold up. What What is the name? Okay, well, oh, GIK, my bad. Okay, it's I don't know what GIY is. I'll type GIK acoustics.com. Okay, that should be in the chat now. So basically, they have so they sell different forms of acoustic treatment on their website, like panels, what they got in there? Panels, bass traps, diffusers, different things like that. He said, can you put that on chat? Yeah, I just put it in the chat. Should drop it. Let me make sure. Yeah, it went. Okay, yeah, it went in there. Yeah. So so you can go in there basically, or you can go in there and for free you can get a quote on what they would recommend that you get for your room. So I think you would you have to measure it out, you know, like use like a tape measure and measure the different dimensions of your room. I think maybe able to take some pictures as well and let them know, and you let them know like specifically what the room is for. Like for example, like for mixing, for tracking, podcasts, different things like that. And then they'll let you know what their recommendations are. And then also from there, you can either purchase directly on their site or you can just get them elsewhere. But they'll let you know what they'll let you know what you need for your room to acoustically treat it. Bata said, "You haven't told me when you're going to do live mixing and mastering session of a song." Actually, that's not a bad idea. I don't know when I would, but I'm not opposed to it actually. So, no, I'm down. I don't know when I would exactly, but I would probably I'm trying to think. Would I mix and master something completely new, or because most of the songs I mix for other people, like they're their songs. I'm sure there will be someone who wouldn't mind me mixing the music live. I might just stick with a beat, just so I can make sure that like I'm not like leaking someone else's. Actually, you know what? I can do that. Except I can maybe what I can do is I could like pull up like an old song that I already mixed that's already out, and then just break down that mix. That would probably make sense. But yeah, that's actually a really good suggestion. So I'm open to doing that. Okay, so let's close out of this. Let's get back to finishing this beat. So I can, and let me know if you have any questions, suggestions, or suggestions for future videos as well. That's actually a really good one. Any more drums I want to add? Maybe let's see what other perks. I think it's pretty much there, honestly. You know what? No, it's done. It's done. Yeah, the beat's done. Overthinking it. If I add anything else, I may add some more percussion to it, but right now, honestly, I'm happy with how it's sounding. So let's go ahead and arrange this. All right, so now I got for right now I have all the parts down that I want to add. A lot of times I'll go back and add some more stuff later on, like either like later in the day or like on a completely separate day to make the beat sound more full. But this idea right now is really good. I think it's definitely ready to start arranging. Cisco said, "Do you like any boom bap?" Yes. Yeah, I primarily make trap beats, but that's not the only thing I make. So I do actually like I like making boom bap and like lo-fi beats specifically. Repeat all of that. Like people if you know an artist named like Coda the Friend, for example, like I don't think his stuff is like boom bap, but like a lot of it's kind of like he might not be a good example, but yeah, to answer the question, yeah, I do like boom bap. Valen says, "Do you like synth pop?" Yeah, I don't listen to it a lot, to be honest, but I do like it when I hear it. Like, who do I listen to that actually? I don't listen to it a whole lot, so honestly, I can't drop any like names of artists who I like, to be honest. I know The Weeknd's done some synth poppy stuff, and like I haven't listened to his most recent album. I know there's like some of the stuff on. Not the one he just dropped, but the album he dropped, I think back in like 2019. I don't remember what it's called. But like that type of stuff I like. Do you like new wave synth music? Yeah, I don't listen to it a whole lot. But if you have any suggestions for artists, yeah, no, I'm open to it. Like I love music of various different genres. The Weeknd is synth pop. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I like the Weeknd's. I still need to listen. Like I need to listen to his newest album. I heard the singles off of it, and I thought they were really cool. But I need to go through and listen. That's an album I need to go through and listen to. After Hours. Just thank you. Yeah, that album. That came out in like 2019. That was one of my favorite albums from that year, actually. But other than that, I haven't really listened to a lot of synth pop, but I like it. But yeah, let me know who are some synth pop artists that you like. I'm just going to labeling the tracks. This is 2019, my bad. 2020, my bad. I don't know why I said 2019. 2020 is when that came out. That was my favorite, or one of my favorite albums from 2020. What's the name of this? Some people don't like naming their tracks for some reason, but this for me is essential. I call it Spring Lead. You got merch. Yes. So if you see the hat that I'm wearing right now, this is actually a piece of merchandise that I made for myself. It's called Bedroom Producer. I got this on hats, t-shirts, hoodies. Actually, I'll drop it in the chat really quick where you can find it. So I do have my own website, lmarqueeproductions.com. That's where I sell the Bedroom Producer merchandise. The reason why I made, so like I didn't make up the term bedroom producer, but it's something that I like to wear, or I like to proudly wear, because years ago, like 20-30 years ago, if people were making music in like a bedroom, or if they were using like a DAW, like Logic or FL Studio, anything that wasn't like hardware, if they're making like music in their bedrooms, a lot of people would say that automatically it doesn't sound good. You can't get professional recordings in a bedroom. You need to be in a big studio to get good results, and that's simply not true. Like you can get really good, really professional sounding results all at home, whether you're making beats, whether you're recording vocals, recording guitar, different things like anything like that. You can get really good results, especially if you're simply making beats on your computer. You can get really good, really professional sounding beats and songs all within your little bedroom studio. So that's why I like wearing this proudly. I've made a lot of really good accomplishments by just making music in a bedroom. I literally have a song on. It's not my song, but I have a song that I've recorded and mixed for someone else in a bedroom using a $200 mic, the same acoustic treatment that I'm using right now. Not super expensive equipment, that has 1.7 million streams on Spotify, and another single that he put out. It was like a remix, but like even another single that he put out has 2 million plays on YouTube. And I'm not like the numbers. I mean, the numbers are cool. I don't say the numbers like that to brag. I'm just saying that like, if something that has over a million plays, like over a million, close to 2 million legitimate plays that you made inside of a bedroom, like that speaks to the quality of stuff that you can make inside of your bedroom. You know what I mean? Monet said, so true. I recorded a song in my home studio, and a professional producer that I went to thought I went to a pro studio. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, and you know what's crazy too? Last little thing I'll rant about, and then I'll get back to finishing this. A lot of people, like, so artists, you know, Monet said, just had to know how to use the equipment. I was gonna get to that. So a lot of people, artists specifically, they think that they need to go to a professional studio to get good sounding recordings, right? I guarantee you 90% of them don't know what any of that equipment does. Guarantee you. Like the analog equipment over there is cool. It can get you a really good sound as well. At some point I would like to invest in it. Not in a lot of analog gear, maybe like a couple different things just because when I get to a point where it may be useful and I can afford it. But like most of those artists, like they'll look at a pro studio and think it's cool because they see all the different pieces of gear. They'll see the SSL board, they'll see the EQs and compressors and like the multi-$1,000 microphones, and they won't even know like what any of them do. They won't know why that microphone in particular sounds the way it does, or why they may like it more than something else. But literally, the stuff is cool to have, but you don't need all that stuff. Like you can get. It's crazy to me how like someone can like come into a room that looks like this and say like it's not like a real studio, even though you can get real studio results all in here with still like really good quality equipment. You know what I mean? versus paying like triple or quadruple at like a quote unquote pro studio than what you would at a studio like this. Sometimes not even getting the same, or sometimes in some cases not even getting that good of results, or not in a good turnaround time, you know. So I'm ranting right now, but yeah, there's like a lot of stuff that you can do in a bedroom studio. You know what I mean? You can get, as long as you have a good quality microphone, if you have some decent acoustic treatment, even if you use something like this, the Chaotic Eyeball, which actually it's some people hate on it, but like it really gets you really good. It really does help get even better quality vocal recordings, and you have like a really good interface. You can get pro studio results all within your home studio. And also like long run, it's if you want to like stick with music for the long run, definitely saves you a lot of time and a lot of money. OG said, personally, I know a home studio producer with talent and music in a 300K studio that doesn't have talent or good results. Exactly. Like, you can have really good equipment and not know how to use any of it, and the stuff still sounds bad. Like, I've heard a handful of cases too where like with people who I worked with, that they'll record at somewhere. I don't know if it was specifically like a pro studio or it was like someone else's home studio, but they recorded somewhere else that wasn't with me, and they got their mixes back and it didn't sound super nice. But then even with me using like just using like not overly expensive equipment, I get really good results. You know what I mean? Like, I've had multiple songs that were mine or songs that I mixed and mastered for other people who got radio airplay. Like I said, I have 2 songs that I mixed with someone else that have one is over 2 million plays, another is getting one of them has like 1.7 million on Spotify. I'm sure like the numbers from everywhere else would even put it up to like past 2 million. And you wouldn't listen to a song that many people wouldn't be listening to a song if it doesn't sound good. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was a long rant, but that's really why I made the bedroom producer line, and why I wear it all the time is because you can get really good results all in the home studio. Even a lot of your favorite songs you hear on like Spotify playlists or the radio, a lot of them are made in a bedroom studio too. So yeah, if you make music in your bedroom, and if you make music in your bedroom and if you know what you're doing, you can get really good results. Be proud of it. Don't feel like you need to get an excessive amount of equipment, even though it can help. Don't feel like you need to get an excessive amount of expensive equipment. Don't feel like you need to go to a commercial spot to get something sounding good. Just take the time to develop your skills, and you can make really, really, really good music all within the comfort of your bedroom. Moni said, "You know what you're doing." Exactly. Okay, ran over. I'm good for right now. Let's go ahead and knock out this beat. Let me know if you have any questions, any comments, or any topics that you want to talk about as well. Oh, Brown said, "Hey bro, I just watched your video you posted 12 years ago. You play guitar." Yeah. I kept. That's funny. Actually, I kept all my old videos up. I started out. Okay, I lied. Last little thing I'll talk about. Then I'll get back to this. So when I first started YouTube back in 2009, how old was I? I think I had to have been like 11 or 12 at the time. I literally wanted to the original reason why I hopped on YouTube was to document my progress as a musician, oddly enough. Like, I would post like guitar covers of songs that I liked at the time. I did a review on something called the Line 6 Pocket Pod, which is what I used to use to get my guitar tones at the time. And my goal at first when I started YouTube was really, one, to document my progress as a musician, and also at that time I heard Justin Bieber was posting videos on YouTube, and then I don't know for sure the story is true or not, but Justin Bieber was like posting videos on YouTube, and then Usher accidentally clicked on one of his videos, discovered him, and blew him up. You all know what happened with him. And I was like, oh wow, that could happen? Okay, cool. Let me post videos on YouTube. Maybe that same thing would happen to me. And then oddly enough, I'm pretty much doing the same thing now. It's like, other than, well, not posting videos with the expectation that they'll blow up, but with me documenting my progress as a producer. Like, that's pretty much one of the reasons why I'm still why now I'm posting YouTube videos. But also now the difference between like now and back then when I was like from 12 years ago, is that now this content is not specifically to please myself, which was really the purpose of the other content before, but now it serves the purpose of sharing knowledge and being able to inspire others, educate others, empower specifically producers and independent artists. Okay, last question I'll answer for right now. OG said, do you recommend a simple compressor for a DAW? I don't have one and my music sounds great. A compressor can help. You don't need one to get good sound in recordings, but they can improve the sound of your recordings. Does that make sense? So like if you're just, I don't know how much experience you have right now, but if you're either just starting out or if you don't really record vocals a whole lot, I wouldn't say that you need one, because you can still, like, of course you can compress it like inside of your DAW. The way that I actually track vocals, I'll show you real quick. So I use a Universal Audio Apollo Twin. The cool thing about this piece of hardware is actually that it can emulate analog style plugins, right? So when I record vocals with it, one, I use a preamp. This is not the main preamp I use right here. I'm using this right now for the live streams because this one has a noise gate on it. The SSL channel strip, I use that. I'll either use that or use actually a Neve to record vocals majority of the time. And this is emulating like an analog piece of gear that you would get in a home studio, that you would see in like a professional studio. And also, I track through this compressor right here to get like the levels sounding pretty consistent, so like it doesn't sound overly quiet like this. And then so it keeps the level, like I'm compressing it pretty hard right now because I could be like if I were recording a vocal right now, I definitely wouldn't be compressing it nearly as much as this. But yeah, I use a digital one essentially when I record, and I like the sound that comes out of it. And something like this is way less. Well, I won't say naturally you can get fairly affordable like analog compressors, but yeah, they can help. The reason why I use this is because if I compress it a little bit on the way going into the DAW, to me I like the sound of it, and also then I don't have to add as much compression when I'm actually mixing the song later on. But you don't need one. I like the sound of it. It can help, but it's definitely not essential. Okay, cool. Let me know if there's any more questions, anything else you want to talk about. I'm gonna get back into finishing up this beat. Fun thing is though is gonna figure out how do I want to start it off. Might just start it off like that. Maybe I'll put another effect on it later on. Oh, just share how you doing? Happy New Year. It's been a minute. Glad to see you tuning in. I'm gonna take the hi-hats out like right before. He said, "Yeah, I was just checking your videos online, not live. Haven't had time. What you up to? Hope you're doing well. Thank you. Yeah, so I've been all over the place, doing a whole lot of different things. Had a really busy week in terms of knocking out videos. What else have I been doing? Videos, mixing for other artists, doing like custom exclusive production for other artists, which I'm trying to do a lot more of this year. Actually doing custom production." Because one is just fun to do, and two, I can charge more for like custom exclusive beats than only doing beat leases. Recording, I also record a podcast, not for myself. I don't star in the podcast, but I record and edit a podcast for other people. So doing a lot of that. Can you recommend a good guitar plugin for Logic Pro? I like Spanish Mexican type flamenco, but can't find any. I want to incorporate culture in my music. Yeah, so so I don't like a lot of VSTs that have what I'm trying to say. Oh, I don't really like using VSTs a lot for guitar sound specifically. They gotten better sounding now, but I don't like using them a lot just because I can play I can play guitar, not super well, but I can play it. So I may use one if I want the specific sound of it, but like if I want something realistic sounding, I'll just use my guitar. But if I'm using something like a VST, for example, Omnisphere has some really cool guitars. Actually, it does have a flamenco guitar that I use a lot. Actually, if I had the choice, you said you can't play guitar. Yeah. So like if I had the choice, I will play the guitar. But like if I'm somewhere where like if I'm making beats outside of my studio, if I need something really quick, then I'll pull up Omnisphere actually. So like it has a cool that's some pretty cool guitar patches actually that I do like. Oh. Let me turn that up because I know it's a little bit quiet. Not like a super good piano player, but you know. You said I think Complete Bundle has some nice guitars too. Yeah, I haven't used it actually, but I know that it has what's it called? Strummed acoustic. Honestly, I've had it for a while. I haven't really used that. Not because I don't like it. I just haven't not really not use it yet. At some point I want to actually try it out. Some of the single like the more like the instruments and stuff that some of the instruments inside of Complete, like with the guitar instruments, I didn't really like a whole lot of those. But if someone I like the sound of the flamenco guitar from Omnisphere, and a couple of the other ones that they have in there. And then outside of that, so if you find a cool guitar plugin that you like, or VST rather that you like, a really good one for doing effects is Guitar Rig. There's a Guitar Rig 6 out now. I haven't updated to that. I will at some point, probably this year if they put out like Complete 14. But Guitar Rig has it has a lot of really good guitar effects on it. Like I still use it a lot for adding for messing around with like guitar sounds, and even on instruments that aren't guitar, it sounds really good on. Just share when you own an MPC like Marquis machine, you can really crank it up. Yeah. I haven't used a real MPC, but I love using the machine. I love it. So the verse is gonna be maybe not that long. Actually, no, that could work. Just got machines blowing my mind. Hey, that's what's up. Okay, so we're gonna add like a little change over here. I did make that verse longer than needed. Okay, cool. So we're gonna add like a little change over here, so the beat doesn't feel like overly monotonous. Take out these hi-hats over here. There we go. Mikey, how you doing? Oh, Amplitude is a really good guitar plugin too. Amplitude. I haven't used Amplitude, but I've seen other people use it. And honestly, like, if you're I think it actually might sound for certain styles of like for certain sounds in particular. I think Amplitude actually does sound better than Guitar Rig. I use something else actually that I like even more. Actually, let me show you really quick. So I can't recommend this for anyone who doesn't have UAD, because it's a plugin that you that's a you only can use if you have like an Apollo interface. But I'll show you really quick what I use for guitar. Where is it? Okay, cool. So yeah, so I use this right here. If you hear that buzzing, my bad, because I forgot that I should have put an insert that wasn't on my mic. Anyways, so this is actually what I track on my guitar through. Like this is an emulator plugin of a Fender amplifier actually. So like I'll use that to like track my guitar through, and then if I want to add like different effects on my guitar, I'll use either like just different plugins, or well, a go-to would be Guitar Rig. That would be like the most obvious one. Or just like other plugins actually that from like other companies or whatever to like get a really cool guitar tone. But this is what I track through. I love how this sounds. This is like the most realistic. I haven't used Amplitude, so I don't know how it like compares to that. Well, yeah, and you say Amplitude has all the emulate. Yeah, so I mean that value-wise, Amplitude might be better since it comes with more emulations. For me, like I love how this thing, how this amp sounds. It comes with some really cool presets too. Doesn't come with effects, so you'll still have to like use other plugins for that. But just for like if I wanted to get like a really good clean guitar tone, even like some overdriven tones, actually, I mostly use it for the clean tones. Like this sounds really good. Like if you have like a universal audio Apollo. Yeah, that's one I would highly recommend. It sounds really good. Most realistic sounding guitar amp emulation that I've used. There we go. But yeah, okay, what do you think about this part right here? I'm gonna do something similar on this part too. In addition, I think even Logic stock plugins can use sound. Yeah, I used to use Logic stock plugins for guitar a lot actually, and they sound really cool too. Not my yeah, like if you use Logic and if you just need something to start out with that like comes with Logic for free, definitely 100% use the stock the stock ones in Logic. There we go. Gonna mute the bass over here, mute the hi-hats. Then I think later on I'm gonna add like some type of like transition effect to go right into the chorus. Is it my headphones or isn't the 808 knocking that hard? Well, I mean, right now I'm not really focusing on the mix of it. So if it's not knocking super hard, it will later on. Okay, so this part can take the 8, or I think I'll like leave the 808 in for like a quick hit, and then I'll take it out. Oh, same thing with the hats. Actually, no, I'll take it out completely after. Yeah, okay, I'll keep it out. Do a little repeat over here. But yeah, so right now, oh, he said, Marky, can you give advice on how to make 808 slide in Logic Pro? Yeah, I can show you really quick. So, okay, just duplicated that. So if you want to get your 808s to slide, I'm not a pro at doing like 808 slides, like in terms of like doing the actual in terms of like making the actual melody for it itself, if that makes sense, or the pattern. But I know how to program the sampler inside of Logic to actually to get them. So just gonna duplicate this really quick and solo this. So basically, if you want your 808s to glide, it's really simple. If you're using the Quick Sampler plugin that's stock inside of Logic, first thing you do is go over to there's a trick you can use with Quick Sampler, and then there's also another one you can do with the sampler, not the Quick Sampler, but the other sampler. So first thing you can do is go over to glide and just drag this up to whatever numbers sounds cool to you. You have to play with it a little bit. If you really want to hear the glide, I would start around like 63 is a good place to start. And then in order to actually like get it to glide inside of the MIDI region, you just gotta make sure that the 808s overlap each other. Wait, I might be wrong actually. Wait, am I doing it right? Wait, I might not be doing it right. I know how to do it right in sampler. Okay, well, okay, might not did it right here, but let me show you actually really quick in sampler. I know then it'll be doing it right. Sampler, multi-sampler, cool. So the way you do it in sampler, you can drag your 808 in there in the same way, right? But then what you'll do is if you wanted to glide, go to mode over here where it says mode, go to mode, legato. And then you'll have to play around with this glide knob, but then that should get it to glide for you. That was like a bad example, but here, let me drag it closer to it maybe. Yeah, you heard that? Yeah, okay. Well, the pattern I have is not really the best example. My bad. But that is how you set it up. So I'll run that back really quick. You go over to your sampler plugin. This is stock within Logic. Click on it. Over here. Oop, I'll uncheck that. So over here on details, or over here in this box right here, click details. Over here where it says mode, click legato, which means that it'll let the notes flow into each other, and then just play around with the glide. If it's like really long, it'll take the note longer to slide into the actual note value that you want it to be. if it's shorter, it'll slide into it quicker. So you play around with that. That's how you do it. Now in terms of actually making the patterns themselves, I'm not super nice like that, so I can't teach how to make the patterns super well. So that's really something you can like play around with and be creative. Also, one last thing I forgot. For making 808 slide, it's better to use, so like the 808 sample I use right now is not like the best one to use for sliding. Right, the one I'm using is like it's a shorter 808. If you really want to get them to slide, I've noticed it's a lot easier to do it with an 808 that sustains a bit longer. So like for example, let me go through my samples really quick. Show this. Okay, so like the 808 that I'm using right now is one of these. I think it's this one. Like it's pretty short 808 like that. They're pretty short, right? So you can do like a quick glide with them, but like since they don't last super long, or since they don't last or like sustain super long, you can't really get it to like do the glides as well. Versus here are some of my favorite, like when I'm doing 808 slides for like a drill beat, for example, drums that knock by Decap. He has a really good 808s. Like that one sustains for a while. So is that one. That one does. Still, that one's a little short, but like using like an 808 like that, that would be easier to actually get the 808s to slide super well. So if you're using like a shorter 808 that you would like typically hear in like a modern trap song, you can do the slides, but like you can't really do like, they can't go like super. At least the way that I've tried it, I could be completely wrong. For me, it's a lot easier to get to do like the type of slides that you hear in like a Pop Smoke or like a Fibio Foreign song. It will be easier if the 808s longer. I could be wrong. There could be a way to work around that I just don't know of. But that's the way to do it if you don't want to get like into sound design too much. That's how you program it in Logic just with the sampler. Does Glide rely on the release too, or just the sustain? I think it relies on both actually. Like the first thing, so I don't really even mess with like the ADSR settings when I'm doing glides. All I really do is the first thing I make sure is that I'm using an 808 that has a bit of like I'm using like a fairly long 808, kind of like the ones that I use, like kind of like the ones I was just playing, like these. That was a short one. Okay, that's short too, so that's not a good example. Yeah, okay, so like those, that one. Like those, like since those like hold out for like a decent amount of time, like you can make some gliding patterns with those really easily. Versus like the one that I'm using in this beat. Like it was like a really quick glide maybe, but not like the same way where like if you hear like the ones in like a Pop Smoke song where they're like going all over the place, you may want like a longer 808 for that. But glides are really cool. It took me a little while to figure out how to do in Logic, but like when I did figure it out, it's pretty fun to mess with. Okay, so I know I want the last part of the verse and the chorus to be the same, so I'm gonna copy and paste those really quick. Almost done with this. I'm gonna be on for a couple more minutes. Got some more, well, not some, a lot of other things I gotta work on for today as well. So I'm a little longer than I thought it would be. But yeah, this is a really good live stream, by the way. Lots of really good interaction. Really appreciate you guys for pulling up, tuning in, and for asking some really good questions. I really hope that this was educational as well as entertaining for you. Okay, so let's track that over. I want this part of the verse to be a bit different. Let's put this back for a second. Okay, so I'll keep that going. just a simple quick pause like that. Oh, Sam, check that out. That one. Do something similar in this. Take out that hi-hat. Keep it simple right now. I might make that a bit more interesting later on. And all that's gonna be the same. Just end with this. Probably gonna put on like another effect on it later on to make it sound more interesting at this part. Actually, let's mess with that right now while I'm talking about it, just so I can illustrate what I actually gonna do. So sometimes what I like to do with loops is put on like different effects in certain parts of the beat. Brian says, hey bro, sorry if you already explained. Did you have a reference or anything in mind when you started this beat? God bless. Hey Brian, first of all, thank you so much for tuning in. So when I made this, no, I didn't have so when I make beats in the specific, okay, if I'm making a beat for someone else, I'll normally ask them to give me like a reference track for something that they're like a sound that they're going for, or like a style that they're going for, right? Bruno, how you doing? But if I'm just making a beat like now where this beat isn't for someone specific, I'm just creating right now, just for the sake of creating, and just might end up being something that since this beat isn't for someone specific, no, I don't have a reference track that I'm using right now to make it. I'll use a reference track when I'm mixing it actually, so I can make sure that my levels are sounding relatively around the same of what you would expect from like an industry song. But when I'm like right now, as I'm just making the beat, just kind of just creating and just going off a vibe and feeling. No, right now I'm not using a reference. It's not a bad idea to use one. I definitely, if I'm making if someone hits me up for like a custom beat, and if someone's hitting me up for a custom beat, I'll ask them to give me like a reference of a track that they're going for, or like a style that they're going for. Like for example, like Joyner Lucas, or like Playboi Carti, or like Eminem. I'll ask them to give me like a song like that, a song for like an artist that they like, and then from there I'll listen to the beat, hear the different elements that are inside of it, maybe even like do something like really similar in terms of like the drum patterns, and then I'll know that I'm going in like the right vibe that the artist themselves is looking for. Something like this, where like this most likely is gonna end up just being a beat that I throw on my website. I'm not using a reference to make the beat. I will use a reference later on to mix it. But other than that, no. Like when I was making this, didn't really have a reference in mind. I was really just going with what sounded cool. Okay, so another thing I like to do with loops is, especially with ones like this where like they don't really change too much, I like to throw like different effects on it in certain parts of the beat, just to give it like a different sound, and a different dynamic. Something I like to do is like I'll use automation to like throw something on in like a specific section. I like doing this for like intros and outros actually. Like not gonna use that. I'm just going to like just random presets right now to find something. That could actually work. Okay, cool. Actually, you know what? I like that. I might play around with that later. But basically, so now I'm not keeping this plugin on the guitar rig. I'm not gonna keep this effect on for the entire beat. I just right now I just want this on the outro. So What I'm gonna do right now is called automation. So in order to do this trick where if I don't want it on any other part of the beat and if I just want it on this part, all you need to do is either click A on your keyboard or click this little button over here. That opens up your automation window. I'll click bypass because I don't want this anywhere else on the beat right now. And I'm gonna click over here so I can find a dot. Make it. So I'm just gonna copy and paste that to make sure that this dot right here is right on the downbeat of where I want it to start. And then instead of it saying bypassed, it's gonna activate it right there. So throw a tremolo on there. Let's hear how that sounds actually. So I can do this the exact same thing I'm talking about. I can do it with the tremolo effect. So let's which one I'm gonna use? I know there's one in Guitar Rig actually, but actually, yeah, no, never mind. Let me just, because I want to be quick. Let's go ahead and pull up Tremulator. Do the same thing. Bypass it everywhere else. Right now, just put it on this part of the beat. I definitely don't want it like going like that. Okay, let's try that. And this is how the song ends. Cool, I'm happy with that. Let's go ahead and let's listen to this beat from the top. Let's hear if there's anything else that we want to add or change really quick. It's like 80 to 90% of the way there. I might come back. So like for now, it'll be like a good stopping point for it. Typically what I do with beats like this is, well, not beats like this, but beats in general, I'll get the majority of the idea down for right now, and then I'll go back to it either sometimes later the same day, sometimes later on in the week, and go back and finish it, adding different parts to it, and then doing the final mix and master. So let's go ahead, let's hear what we got. After we play through this beat, this is where I'm going to be wrapping up for today. First of all, thank you all so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, and if you're enjoying what we're doing over here on the Bedroom Producer live stream, we'd greatly appreciate it if you clicked out the chat for a quick second, hit the like button on this video, subscribe and turn on notifications so that way you'll be notified whenever we go live, as well as whenever I drop a full-length video, which, by the way, I have a new video coming dropping tonight at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, if you're watching this on Twitch, we'd greatly appreciate it if you follow me on there as well. Let's go ahead and listen to this beat. Let's see where we're at, and then we will have to wrap up for today. So how do you find / choose the right automation this quick? I go with latch, play, then twitch the knob. I want to automate, pause. Okay, so what I do is, my mentality behind is just, there are effects that I like to use. Oh, you said you just clicked and got the right. Oh, yeah, so, okay, actually, let me show you this real quick. My bad. Last thing I'll show you real quick. So, okay, there is a way you're supposed to set this up in Logic. I don't remember exactly where it is in the settings off the top of my head. But what you can do is, instead of, so I know what you're talking about. So when you're talking about like this window over here, where you have to go through and like find the specific thing you want to automate. So I don't remember how to turn this on, but there are YouTube tutorials on how to do this. If I actually might make my own actually, just to update it. So basically, the cool thing about the most recent versions of, let me not use this. The cool thing about the most recent versions of Logic is that if you want to automate any parameter within a plugin, all you need to do is just click on it and then you can automate it. So I'm just gonna pull up something right now that I'm gonna delete later. So the old way, before this update came in, this update came in a couple of years ago. So before this update, if you wanted to automate any parameter, you have to go through, find the right plugin, and then you'd have to, like find the right thing you want to automate. For plugins like this one, for example, like that's so much stuff right there you can automate. It's ridiculous, right? So the way I'm able to do it a lot quicker with this update that came maybe like 3 years ago by now, you can like click on the parameter that you want to automate, and then it's gonna pop up in the window. You see that? Like you can just click on, like if I want to automate the pitch, click on it right there. You can mess around with the note or with the dot rather, and then it does all that for you. Well, I guess you can't really hear it with this effect. Oh, there you go. Yeah, look. I can do the same thing with this knob. So yeah, that did sound crazy, but yeah, like you can do that with like any parameter, with any plugin that you can think of. Super quick, super easy. It's in one of the settings. So like I don't remember what video it was. Like try googling like Logic Pro automation or like Logic Pro click automation. I don't know what it's called. But like after like it's a really quick setting in Logic, so you can. Yeah, and once you figure that out, literally all you have to do is just click on the parameter you want to automate, and then there you go. Super quick and super easy to automate in Logic. I love it. It's a big thing. Ain't no problem. That would make for a really good video actually. Maybe I should make a video on that. Let me know if you want me to. To do it. All right, bet. I'll put that on the list. Somewhere out there, I might add automation later on for like another effect. We'll see. Saw your video on the 2022 advising Sway Lee and wondered just before why your shorts got even shorter. Yeah, so one of the things about, like, if you're referring to like TikTok or something like that, like those short videos, with those, I don't know if this is for everyone, but for me, for the videos I've experimented with, like the ones that do better, specifically the ones that I've been posting, the shorter ones, they just get more views and more engagement. It might have just to do with like the watch time and people just going those videos quicker, especially the ones on TikTok. Like for example, like a lot of people now were asking me to make the beats longer on TikTok. Even though I made them shorter on purpose. I made them like 8-bar verses instead of 16s, which end up being about like 15-second videos, because like when I do the views on them go up super quick, and I notice that they get more duets, oddly enough. And then more people started asking me to make them longer, and I did now, and like the views, I've been experimenting with it this week to see like if the number of people duetting them and the views would be affected or not. And yeah, they went down. So I don't know. I might go back to making them. I'm just playing around with I'm experimenting at this point. But yeah, like, I did notice that like the ones that are, ironically, like it's weird. So people say they wanted them to be longer, but then every time I make the videos longer, like the views go down. The views and the people the amount of people duetting them, they both go down. So it's like I don't know. Like I don't know if I should listen to them. I don't know. I'm going back and forth between the two. You said your analysis is right. I think when it catches you binge, and shorter vlogs make more plays. Yeah. It's like I'm talking specifically about like the short form videos, like the long form videos. I try to keep those at around Forever Player. How you doing? Like the long form videos that I post on YouTube, I try to keep those at around 10 minutes or less. I found that at least for my audience specifically, I found like that to be like the sweet spot for how long the videos go. I shortened them down a little bit too, because I just get like, I used to have like an intro where like I say, hey, if you're looking for this style of video, subscribe to this channel. Do all the like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. Like I stopped doing those. Which yeah, we made a super dope beat. Answered some really cool questions over here in the chat. So that's super awesome. Really appreciative of everyone for tuning in. Lots of really good energy, really good vibes that are being spread. So greatly appreciate all of that. Right now, if you're watching on YouTube, would greatly appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up button on the video, and also subscribe and turn on notifications if you haven't already. And if you're watching this on Twitch, would greatly appreciate it if you hit me with the follow. And yeah, really appreciate everyone for tuning in. Next live stream will be next Tuesday, 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is El Marquis Productions. God bless.